I'm getting better, though. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that much.
That's what I keep telling people. People go, how's Andy? I go, he's getting better.
That's not the way to do it. Why would you... That's not nice. I mean, you did laugh at your own thing, but you laugh at your own thing in pleasure.
I laugh at my own thing a lot.
No, you don't.
I learn a lot of things about listening back to the show every week. I learn a lot, everything I hate about myself.
Okay, now wait a second.
Bubbles to the surface each week.
All right, first of all,
yeah.
Some of it you should let go. Like,
I do. That's part of that's how I'm getting better.
Right, because I don't care whether you say you know. Is that what you're worried about?
No, that's just one of many tics.
Why focus on one?
Yes.
I'm laughing like a hyena, but
it's charming, though. I think that's,
But why do you don't laugh at your own material?
I laugh as I'm saying it sometimes.
Yeah, but that's funny because we're having a discussion in the thing.
Okay.
But does that annoy you when you hear it back?
Oh, sure. I want to be deadpan Dave.
How did the music go?
So far, no one negative, only positive response.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
But were you like a little nervous? Oh my God, the music's going out
No,
tomorrow.
I wasn't nervous about how people. I would be nervous that people would be annoyed that it's in the show.
Right.
I wasn't. Right. I wasn't worried about the response to the music, not because I think it's how could you find fault, but because because it's our show.
That's true.
It's still part of the vibe.
It's still part of the vibe, right?
Under the vibe umbrella of J. Elvis Weinstein.
Yeah, nobody could look. Here's the thing: we're not trying to segue the show into the music of Andy Kindler and Josh Elvis Weinstein.
No.
Unless...
That's what... Yes.
Unless we get really tired.
That's what'll get us to the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah. But now, last week, there were some very funny things on Saturday Night Live, now, which will be whatever week when this comes out.
Okay.
But Colin Jost said that Rudy Giuliani was on the Kings of Dementia comedy tour.
Yeah.
I love that. But Donald Glover was the host. Yeah. Did you see it?
I did. I saw.
Okay.
I did the scan version.
Okay, so what am I supposed to conclude? Okay, I was delighted by his music in a way.
Yeah.
And I was delighted by his dancing.
Yeah.
But there was another level of me that was like, why isn't that guy wearing a shirt?
Right.
And what the hell is going on?
Right.
Well, how about from your take?
Because Childish Gambino doesn't wear a shirt.
Okay. I realize
that
the name of the band, his band is called Childish
Gambino.
Oh, now is this the group? Is this the music he was doing before?
It's his musical alter ego.
Whenever you see him?
Well, when you see him playing
music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, a Gambino is like, what is a Gambino?
It's a crime family. That's the most I can tell you. But you should watch the This Is America video thing that he just put out. It's pretty. It's a pretty stunning piece of
the guy
art, I guess.
Don't let me tell you. Don't let anybody catch me telling you or whatever I'm trying to say that he's not talented. The kid's talented.
Yeah,
but he does bug. There's a part of him that bugs me.
I get it.
Do you think he's too comfortable with himself, or do you think that's the way human beings should be if they weren't like us?
Yeah, I think it's aspirationally comfortable, not resentfully comfortable. From where I'm coming from,
it's aspirationally comfortable.
Yeah, I think we should all be so damn comfortable. Is my point. Yes.
But he's being comfortable, much like other characters would be during, like I'm trying to think of Buster Poindexter might be.
Yeah, I think there's a good parallel.
There's a through line
for old people. Yes.
Yeah. And you like the music? I thought it was okay.
I thought it's okay. I don't love it. I did love that video though. That This Is America.
Oh,
video.
Is it pro Trump?
No, it's not.
Now you told me, don't bring this up on the show, but that you told me privately that you thought Kanye West is making a lot of good points. He's saying a lot of things that you've heard actually white people say about black people.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Well, I read about him in history books, but
unbelievable. I love that. First of all, I'm very angry at myself for not being more familiar with Kanye.
Yeah.
You can write down something so you don't forget it?
Yes.
Well, why don't you do it?
I'm good.
Why tease me with it? I forgot to write down July 10th. If you're in town, folks, July 10th at 7:30, mark it down your calendar. because Showbiz Studios made a call.
We are doing.
I love to make fun.
We are doing a live podcast at the Improv Lab in July 10th.
That's not that far away.
No, it's not.
There's we could have 2 world wars before then.
We have 2 months to not prepare for that.
That's what I'm worried about this year.
But we will be testing out
Material
for Andy's State of the Industry speech at that show.
So if that's
little look behind the curtain, see the fat Jew writing jokes, see the
Did
guy.
you say the fat Jew?
I did, yeah.
Now you
not the fat Jew? Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were referring to the fat Jewish.
See, that's why he chose that name, because it's so appealing if you are one.
What are those people called when they appear on shows? They're not disruptors. They're influencers.
Yeah.
Those are influencers. Do you know what that is? Have you ever heard
of
that?
an aggregator. It turns out.
Well, we know about that. We know about that. He's helping to influence people through his aggregating.
Right.
But I never. But that's like more bullshit. If you don't mind me cursing, it's more bullshit than disruptor. I think is influencer. It's a way of saying something that is calling maybe a non-existent profession like life coach.
Right. It is. I think, it depends. It depends who's if you say it about yourself.
Why did I do that?
Your ship is sunk.
Yeah. If you say it about yourself for real, you mean?
Yeah.
But you wouldn't.
But I think, it's a corporate speak term.
Yes.
Like if you had 1 million YouTube followers, you'd be an influencer.
Okay, well, you know what? I buy that. Normally I would argue with you because people love the arguments, but I'll buy that. I will buy that actually makes sense. But you know what doesn't make sense is disruptor. I will go to my grave claiming that's a phony thing.
That's Silicon Valley of honky bullshit is what that is.
And what is it? It's based on that someone's going to do something illegal, probably. Is that what they're going to do?
Well,
they're going to sell.
Like Uber is a disruptor. There was a system in place for moving people called taxis. And Uber came along and disrupted the industry.
You know who disrupted?
Presented a whole new model that worked better for people.
You know who was more of a disruptor than that?
You.
With the Wright brothers. You know what I'm saying? The Wright brothers. They didn't just disrupt the way you got a taxi.
Right.
They disrupted the way you got around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, they long-term playing the long game, they hurt that train industry real bad.
So you're telling me you respect the inventive people behind Uber more than the Wright brothers? You like to just tell me. Do you like the look of self-satisfaction on my face? And what does it indicate?
Well, I'm trying to decode it.
What
first.
am I
First, I have to exactly decode it. Then maybe I'll.
I think I use laughter as a defense.
See, the Wright brothers, they disrupted birds.
Oh, is that how you're looking? Is everything with you looking for the consistency of the bit?
Yes.
They disrupted. You know who else disrupted birds? Sully, Mr. Hero. Oh, he's such a hero. We don't talk about
not if you're a goose.
We don't talk about the 5,000 goose he decapitated. Geese. They are geese, aren't they?
They are geese.
Sully, first of all, don't you really wish? I wish I was 2 people. That I'll never be.
Yeah.
I wish I was the Shaw Jr., the guy who stopped the AR-15 with his bare hands.
Okay. And Sully. Yeah.
Those are the 2 people. Thank you for knowing that I completely forgot. See, this is the kind of thing they say.
It's that chemistry.
This is what you build up over the years. This would be good.
That's year 2 chemistry is what that is.
Or bridge. We could play bridge with each other later.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what? If we play bridge together, 1-0 Trump. Am I wrong? Why is that not a solid joke beyond the bad pun? You know it was a solid joke. You laughed.
Sure, I did.
You laughed because I was trying hard, which is why you always laugh.
You committed, you slotted in. That's always going to get me a little bit.
All right, now back to what we were talking about.
Yeah, that was clever.
We were in the middle of a thing, right?
Yeah.
Is that...
That was the bad...
baby?
Tape reversal.
Oh.
Tape rewind.
Don't you just, you just punch out? I know you listen to me. I know you edit back the show by punch out. You clock out. Do you edit me like on a time basis?
Yes, it's like a chess match.
Or
I do the clock.
You do the clock, or if I do anything like, or audio.
Did you ever play chess with a clock, by the way?
No.
No, okay.
Have you?
No, I'm not. I've never been quite exactly sure how that works.
I don't even really understand how to play. I'm not good when you have all the time in the world. So I'm exactly the wrong person. I could see, though, how speed chess would be excellent for a really great chess player to learn.
Yeah, because it's faster.
It's faster. Now, when you're playing a chess, when Spassky, you said, Andy, would you please again at some point?
Well, I opened up the door to chess room.
Yeah, but you didn't want the same old stories, right?
No.
But there was the thing what I loved about Bobby Fischer, not the anti-Semitism.
No? Okay.
Was his gamesmanship. I loved that. It's like Muhammad Ali, Bobby Fischer.
Yeah.
They played the gamesmanship. So he got inside Spassky's head. Maybe.
Maybe. That's what someone said once.
That's what someone said. But then he got inside his... No, he was, because Spassky was annoyed. You know when a Russian's annoyed, right?
Yeah,
you know
they're breathing.
What's that?
They're breathing.
Yeah, no, it's... They put poison in your coffee. That's how you know.
There you go. Yours is better.
Why is it better?
Because it was a better joke.
Poison in your coffee. You know, Russians, yeah.
Yeah. Mine was evergreen. Yours was topical.
I think it will. Poisoning will always be current. All right, sorry about that one. Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
So I gotta listen more. Do you have more of his albums and things? Or?
I don't. I'm only
more of his albums.
Peripherally.
I sounds like such an old Jew sometimes.
Yeah.
Have you listened to his music? Okay, so going back to the first thing that we said.
Okay.
I wish I had been more familiar with Kanye West because I know I love the hip hop that I love, or whatever you want to call it. Obviously, since I don't even know what to call it, and I'm calling it hip hop.
Right.
I could be calling it bebop right now with the amount of knowledge I have of it.
It's all bleep, blorp, bloop to me. So but you never got into Kanye.
And I heard he's one of the some of his early albums are unbelievable.
And what I like Kanye.
Are you a hip hop aficionado?
I am not. I'm a hip hop dabbler.
So if I was to say to you, I don't even know these people I want to know now because Obama likes them. So I want to know that Kendrick Jackson,
Kendrick Lamar.
Exactly. You know how I know his name is Lamar?
I didn't.
Say his name isn't Jackson. Right. What does that make him? Lamar. Right. Who's the senator from Texas? Lamar Alexander, and that's how I remember. All right, now here's the problem.
What's that?
My mind goes. Here's the thing. I woke up today with a new theory of life.
Okay.
My first theory of life was
I'm actually more enthusiastic than I made that sound.
I thought that I would write down whenever or maybe even do the initials, so that everything I say I'm going to initial, so that when I forget it 7 seconds later, I see the initials of the thing. It's not working out.
Why do you keep making ridiculous mnemonic devices for yourself?
Okay, so here's my other theory. My other theory is don't ever call attention to the fact ever again for the rest of my life that I forgot what I was talking about. That's my new theory.
Well, it makes you look like an idiot if you don't, though.
Yes, but I'm
leaving the Da Vinci Code for yourself on cards.
Hey, what about... Did you know that I was the only person... I didn't even know this. I was the only person... Not the only person, but I was right about Dennis Miller. I was right about what he thought he was doing with that joke. Everybody thought...
did he? Okay.
And I only know it because
But you recanted.
He said... He has his second. I know you listen to his podcast, or whatever the hell he has.
Well, the thing that was that he said I need a few days to do some research, and your initial assessment was that he was making a joke that she's so unfamous he has to do research.
Yes.
And I was kind of with you on that, and then I backed away, and you did too.
I backed away, and then also people who know him, like I won't say who because they were saying I don't want to.
Don't say me.
No, but they were saying no. There's no way that he was making a joke. But he said on his own podcast that it was a poorly worded attempt at a joke.
Right.
That's what he was.
Well, that was clear.
Yeah, but it was like he was like just trying to say. I still don't know where exactly he was going with the joke.
Right.
But it was an attempt at a joke finished, complete, as opposed to People
Right.
thought go Wednesday to his account. And the thing is, he's so like, I don't like to use the word lazy because it's been applied to me, but he's really lazy. He's really lazy in the sense that he doesn't care enough. He knows the tweet was a misfire, but he doesn't care enough to go back and correct it. It's like Bill Maher going, Twitter doesn't matter. Twitter's ridiculous. It's stupid. Yeah, because you can't tweet.
Yeah, but I don't know that. I don't want to be a Dennis Miller apologist by any means, but like, what's the win if he starts engaging with the entire world, fucking going to town on him?
Oh no, he shouldn't engage. The fact that he doesn't engage means he's a healthier man than me.
Here's the joke I meant to do.
What?
Right.
And then
right.
everyone goes,
Oh, yeah, that's funny, Denny. Choo, 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 cha, cha, choo, 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 cha, choo.
Yeah, it's not going to help. I think he's making the right move, not addressing his horrible tweets.
Right.
That's probably the best way to go. But often, like Bill Maher, who they discount tweeting, they
Yeah.
always discount it because they can't do it well. And I'm not saying tweeting is the only thing worthwhile doing, but sometimes in my life I've made it look that way by tweeting it all day
yeah.
and being addicted to it.
You're not saying that tweeting is what? I'm sorry.
I'm not saying that tweeting ultimately is like poetry
Right.
or jazz or bebop.
Well,
but it is words.
I'm into tweeting, obviously.
Yeah.
I tweet quite a bit.
But Dennis Miller, what he can't admit, and what Bill Maher can't admit, is they're no longer verbally entertaining. Isn't that what it is?
So few people are, early to the party on that realization when it comes to themselves.
Right. But like, we know it's hard to be funny.
Randy Newman did that song. I'm dead, but I don't know it.
I don't know that one.
Very funny song.
I have it.
It's on the album Bad Love.
I will look up that. I just downloaded Dark Matter.
Yeah.
Which I bought. I mean,
Nice.
isn't that a great story? So, where were we?
We were talking about Dennis Miller and Bill Maher not knowing they're not funny
yes.
anymore.
Okay, so here's the
verbally.
thing. Here's the thing. I think that everybody is guilty of. I'm going to say something heavy, but not that heavy.
Okay.
Everyone is guilty of self-sabotage. I know I am. And I know I engage in self-sabotage, where you're like scared of something or you're nervous about something. So you
Although
kind of
Curly Howard, he engaged in
Self-sabotage.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
He didn't really say that, right? That was something you.
I think I just overlaid it, yeah. Go ahead.
So,
Sorry.
we could all engage in self-sabotage. What was my point, though?
Oh, man, that's on me. That was
No.
on me.
It's not. You shouldn't have to worry about living a life where you can't interject with someone who
We're
never
all
stops
guilty of
talking.
self-sabotage.
Right. Okay. So here's the thing. You can see the wheels turning on their self-sabotage, like Bill Maher or Dennis Miller. You can see the wheels turning. Why are they unhappy people when they act unhappy or they get mad? Why am I mad at the crowd? Because when I look back now at being mad at the crowd, a lot of times I was just, nervous and trying to learn, But why? But sometimes the crowds are bad. But why are these guys yelling at the crowd? Because they have nothing interesting to say.
Also, narcissists can't take scolding.
That's true.
They can't handle it.
And you know why? That's a perfect segue for I have not yet seen myself in I'm Dying Up Here. Have you seen me in it?
I did see you in it.
And
yes.
now I was going to say, what'd you think? But you can't say what you think. You have to be honest about what you think. And I haven't seen it. So here's what I'm going to do to show you how healthy I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you what you thought, and you can say anything you want. And if you say I'm the worst actor you've ever seen on television, if you say my lips were moving with the other guy's parts, if you say I look at the camera 3 or 4 times, if you say I look 20 pounds heavier, if you say forget acting, if you say you hurt the Judaism as a religion, I'll take it.
Okay.
How would you
Well,
think?
all of those things. Plus, yes, and
Sideburns.
sideburns look great.
Thanks.
The wardrobe and makeup and all look great.
Right.
Very period, very good. I thought you were great. I mean, I think it, clearly you told me that you ADR'd the whole thing, and most of it played over a phone call.
Oh, I'm confused. Is this where I'm getting a massage?
No.
No, it's
This
not
is
the ADR one
Okay.
then.
So
This is just a phone call.
This is just when you're telling him,
Yeah.
your ship's come in, baby.
Oh, Ronald. Yes.
Yes. You're telling him you negotiated a sitcom deal for him,
Right.
basically. And most of it's voiceover
Yes.
on the character, but there's enough to go.
You see my face.
There's Full Metal Kindler. And the only criticism
No, I want to hear it.
is of the writers. they put the word simoleons in your mouth,
And,
which there's nothing you can do with that.
Well, I think they were trying
They were trying to make it a character thing.
I could have
but
made it funnier, maybe. Hey, how many ducats, simoleons?
I think if they would have let you, hey Andy, do one for you.
Yeah.
You would have had something funnier than simoleons.
I don't think I'm comfortable yet doing that.
Yeah.
But you wait till I will call you from the set when they.
But I thought
me.
it was well cast.
Oh, beautiful! Thank you.
I thought you looked good. I thought you were funny sounding. I thought tonally you were in there. My only problem was with simoleons. There's nothing to do with simoleons.
Well, I'm going tomorrow for a table read. I have one more episode.
Nice.
And there's a multi-day. You know what a multi-day episode means to me?
Health insurance?
More than the minimum.
Yeah. That's excellent.
And health insurance, too.
Yeah.
So there was also a party tonight.
You're going to need it.
I didn't go to the party tonight.
No? You came here instead?
I just came here instead.
Oh.
Now, you could
Would
say
you
I'm
have gone to the party had we not?
Well, here's the thing. I'd like to present it that I'm a hero. I wanted to go to the party so bad, and I said, you know what? I can't shortchange the podcast.
Right.
But that's not true.
Well, you've been shortchanging the podcast for
many months. Not just on that level.
Right.
I do think though that is why I'm always. Maybe I'm reading too much about why I'm late. But
You're not that late. It's
okay,
not
so
that
forget
big
it. You know what?
That's not even
it's
on the
boring.
table
It's
as an
boring
issue.
now.
Yes.
Okay, but how about this? I've never been late for my therapist, but I've been 3 minutes.
Well, maybe if I start charging you for the podcast.
That's a solid point. See? Now that's you laughing at me laughing at you laughing and enjoying humor.
All right.
You have to. I don't like that. You don't want to be one of these Seinfeld people who used to say that they never laugh because they're in comedy.
No. Here's what I realized about myself. The thing that actually makes me healthier, because I was talking to somebody, they go, you're healthier than most comics. And I realized that, unlike most comics, I am actually constantly telling myself jokes in my head.
Oh, unlike most comics.
Yeah. Most comics are poisoning themselves in their
that's
head.
true.
You know, they're telling themselves really negative shit. So we know what you're saying to yourself in your head. It's horrible. Who could listen to that?
No, nobody would want to listen
But I've talked before about how I have like the human soundtrack in my brain and the comic soundtrack in my brain.
Yes.
But the comic soundtrack in my brain is like always fucking going. And I'm not saying I'm a machine, but
that's the way you always choose to look at
that's
things.
how I'm looking at life through that joke filter. So I'm constantly telling myself jokes about everything I'm seeing in front of me.
Well, then I would.
So I think it moderates my mood.
It does moderate your mood because the thing is,
because everything is funny first before it's serious.
Yes, which is which is which is to say that's how you look. Which is partially how you're living. Does it ever get to you where do you ever say to yourself, "I'm coming up with jokes, but it isn't making me happy"? You know what I'm saying?
No, because it's not a conscious thing. I'm not Maury Amsterdamming myself in my head. How about this one? How about this? But I realize that my first thought is when I'm perceiving things, there's always a commentary track.
Right.
I'm Mystery Science Theater in my head, you know? and so like I said, I think that really is it. Like I see everything as ridiculous before it's serious.
Yes.
You know?
And in fact, that is probably, don't get me spiritual, but I do think I've probably said it a million times. That is the spiritual side. Can be the spiritual side of humor, but you're doing it even, like my dad would be that way. He would be that way all the time. My dad could be instantly funny in the moment, but my dad was also trying to keep things light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so sometimes
I'm not necessarily trying to keep things light, but I am always trying to keep things from being over dramatic.
Well, my dad was
You know what I
like that
mean?
too,
Like,
yes.
I don't mind serious or real or
Right.
truthful, but I steer away from histrionic or from the,
Well, how'd you do that?
I try to keep conversations.
And yet you did a
from that.
podcast with Andy Dick for 3 years?
What?
What'd you think of the Saturday Night Live? There was some funny. There were some weird bits, but there were funny bits.
There was some funny stuff, yeah.
I love Colin and Michael Che. I love them. And also, Colin Jost and Michael Che have both been complimentary about my act.
Oh, okay.
So do you know what that means?
They're in.
I'm all over it.
Yes.
Oh, did you hear what they said?
Right.
Boom. I champion people who champion me.
Except me.
Except you, because you know why? I don't want you stepping on my parade. Did I tell? Was I here when I said, "Put your hands Did we go over this? Hold on to your seatbelts. I think we did.
Yes.
Yeah. I still can't get that out of my mind, and I still can't get the shame out of my mind of losing. It's a weird deal. I'm losing something that I pretended I couldn't have cared less about.
Right.
But I did want to win, didn't I, Josh?
It seems so.
I do.
Yeah.
I did.
I think the real shame of the evening was that you paid to go.
The production company.
Well, that tickets had to be bought to go.
Someone's out some money.
Yeah.
Yes. But if I was going to be Buddhist about it, I would realize that even if I had won that prestigious award, Josh,
right.
the prestigious LA Web Fest Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy Web Short.
Right. Okay. And I'm with Susan on this.
You would have fought to put it on the resume.
I would have said,
don't.
When would that credit, when would you ever have said, introduce me using this credit?
I guess, when I would do it? At like a cold, like a thing like I arrange with other cold reading people.
It would only give you the ability to say, award-winning actor.
And I would do that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past me not to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it because that sounds so phony.
Well, it does open you up. It opens you up to the question, what award?
2-time Emmy. How about 3-time Emmy watcher?
There you go.
I'm going to write down because I don't trust you. Emmy watcher. How come why we don't have one of these dragon things?
You're dragging plenty.
I know, but you don't think like... If you had the choice of everything you said... Is that baby guy sleeping?
No, that was more like Big Bird, I think.
Oh, because it reminded me of the Three Stooges snoring.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on the Three Stooges. Please. But you know what would be nice? If you could get me started on something interesting. If I
that would be.
Because let me tell you something. My arm, does your back hurt? Because my back hurts. You know why? Carrying you the whole show so far. Carrying you the whole show. I'm really into this eye contact thing, but there's something very creepy about it.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to make I'm hard for me to make eye contact with my therapist.
Really? Well, I can, because you're ashamed. That's different.
I am ashamed.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, you think it's funny that I'm ashamed?
I think we're past the shame threshold here.
No, we're not past the shame. Oh, here?
Yes.
I'm ashamed of everything on a deeper level.
Yeah.
How
is therapy? How's it going?
I don't want a begrudging host, a phony baloney.
No, I want to know. Tell me.
Actually, it is going very, very well because I have been told by my therapist that I should. I've been told she doesn't tell me what to do. Yes, she does.
Okay. Well,
I've been told that I need to talking to my wife about what's going on within me.
Yeah,
is like some kind of magic key, and it's worked every time I've done it. It's worked. I've said to my wife, revealed just, not even important things. I'm from Akron, Ohio. Just things you didn't know about me. Right. I like hobbies. I like to go to hobby places.
So basically the advice is when she says, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You say.
Answer.
Yes.
Yes,
that's
it's
exactly
not
right.
Don't treat it rhetorically.
That's right.
Yes.
And she never has said that.
I know.
But she should.
I was sketching it up.
You were sketching it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's going very, very well. I'm relaxed in therapy.
Yeah.
Not really. Everything can fall apart. My whole big problem is thinking that I'm putting on a show.
Right.
And I think people who have seen me at a show.
Right.
Also draw the same conclusion.
It's not all it's cut out to be.
How do I know that you're not a cutout?
How do you?
They call things cutouts now. You know the whole thing with that? Like the WikiLeaks is a cutout.
No, I don't.
WikiLeaks is a cutout. It means that it's Russia acting under the guise of something else. And it's called a cutout.
Like a straw man?
No, it's actually a straw man is a fake. A straw man is like, hey, stay away from my apples. Hey! But it's not a real man. Right?
I don't know.
What were we talking about? Straw man. It's red.
Yeah,
let's
just move on. I'm starting a new topic.
Do you want to talk about red herrings?
No, but red buttons is on the table.
I really wish I'd seen that movie that he
never got a dinner of red herring.
Have you seen the movie that he won his Oscar for?
No.
Neither have I. I don't think it's a comedy. And we'll be back with Andy Kindler stumbles through another attempt to get out of his own head and say something interesting. And we're back.
So are you in town this month?
I'm in town so much that I'm beginning to wonder, maybe I need to make a call. There's places if any of my representation listens to the podcast.
Well, we know the answer to that.
I'd like to go back to the Comedy Addict. I think the Comedy Addict, Showbiz, take a letter. We should go to the Comedy Addict in Bloomington, Indiana, and we should do the podcast from there. It's a great college town.
Sure.
Come on, Showbiz.
I haven't been there since I played Bear's Place in 1990.
Who's Bear's Place?
It was the Sobel Room in Bloomington, Indiana.
But the thing, of course, you must know, everyone knows, it's if you read my biographies, my dad and mom went to the University of Indiana. That's where they met.
Really?
And they were undergraduates there.
Wow.
And
couple of Hoosiers in love.
This is pre-Bobby Knight, baby. My dad went to Indiana when they were national champions in football.
On a whinging scholarship.
If there were whinging scholarships, I swear to God.
Full ride.
I have actually topics written down that I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did write down some topics. Is there anything you opened up the door to some topics?
Okay, well,
what did I do?
Walk in.
No. I'm saying, I don't know if I did enough with them.
What do you have written down?
Okay, I have written down. Well, this is a comedy.
The only sure way to get you to talk about you is to start talking about me.
Okay.
No, I'm just that's my fallback.
Oh, you're saying that I'm incurious as a person and don't really care. It's not so much that I'm incurious, it's that I'm narcissistic.
Right.
See, I'm curious, like, for example, if you could tell a story about me.
Right.
I'm on board.
Exactly.
I don't like to play. I'm playing this character of a self-absorbed person. I couldn't anything but. Anything but.
Apparently, he thought he was the center of the goddamn universe.
He didn't say that, right?
Anything but.
That's not. What did he really say? Because I want to see if I can get it.
Apparently, he thought it would make him a big man. Anything but.
Apparently, he thought it would make him a big man. Anything but. I think I got a little bit on the anything but.
You got a little,
but nothing
there.
On the other stuff.
But it's a sportscaster character. It's not Vince Scully, maybe.
Just the idea that this guy would say anything but like that, and then later be an avowed racist. That's the thing.
He is not.
I don't know why it's delightful to me to be saying something against Vince Scully, who I love, and literally did turn on him on a dime.
You really did.
When he was like, I got very emotional about the take a knee.
Apparently, Andy Kindler thought that 65 years at the microphone could all be erased with one tweet. Anything but.
It's true. I was wrong, but he's also wrong. Anybody who I like everybody to take a knee, just in general.
Absolutely, just in life.
Okay, I wrote down this as an idea for my. Do you even know who Sad Sack is? The comic strip.
No, I don't think so.
Do you know who it is?
I don't. I've heard it as a reference, but I don't know.
Okay, Beetle Bailey.
Sure.
All right. Well, Sad Sack is was a comic book in the Beetle Bailey.
In the Beetle Bailey universe.
Category, yeah. Like he's a army man.
Yeah.
So my joke from Montreal would be, I sold Sad Sack. Where am I going to go with it? You know where I'm going with it. I sold Sad Sack, but the studio, they wanted to know, does he have to be so sad? Can't he be a little?
No.
Because no one knows it?
Yes.
Oh, everything with you is, do they know it? Oh, everything with you is, are you joking about?
Might it work?
Might it work? Oh, everything with you is result oriented.
Yes.
I'm a disruptor.
Yes.
I'm an influencer.
You're a disruptor.
You don't think I'm an influencer?
No, I think your only influence is disruption.
Would you call me a bad influencer on the kids? Right?
Yes.
All right. Now, that can't be the only topic I had. All right. I got one.
Okay.
Now, when I say I got one, I hope you don't think I'm made entertaining.
Yeah.
What?
I hope you don't think I have one.
into true crime. I've gotten into not obsessed with it, but I kind of like when I'm doing my strolls, which I walk by your house 4 or 5 times a week, like a disturbed man.
Right.
Have you ever seen me walking outside your house?
No, I would have drenched you with something.
I'm walking on the other side of the street, first of all.
Yeah.
Because of the restraining order.
Have Clyde and Lucky ever barked at you?
No. Why? I wonder why. You'd think someone like me would cause.
If you were walking with a dog, they'd bark with you.
Oh.
They'd bark at you.
No, and I walk by, and I'm into this true crime thing. So now...
Podcasts, I'm guessing, since you're
that's
walking
right.
with it?
Yeah, because I love podcasts.
Yeah.
And there's something about this true crime stuff that I do love. But then I feel like, how much longer am I going to love it?
Who cares, man?
Well, I'm worried
Just ride it, man.
Well,
Just
what if I
ride it.
die tomorrow, and then they find all this stuff in my thing?
Then
Chopped up. Why was he listening to chop up your friends with a Bowie knife?
you're worried you'll be a suspect in your own murder?
No, I'm worried that people will think when they write the book about me, which I'm sure they will write.
Sure, I already started.
Is it tell nothing? I'm worried that they'll think, okay, maybe I should make a more general question. Are you interested in true crime, and what do you think it indicates? I know that it's like a Columbo thing. I love the Columbo side to it,
Right.
where you're figuring out this case. It makes me feel better about my own life in a way.
Right.
But I'm worried, is there something I should be concerned about? Because I don't like to hear tons of details.
Well, Allison, my wife, loves true crimey stuff because she likes the justice part at the end.
Oh, yeah.
But I also think, you've been watching TV for 60 years,
Yeah.
it's like it's the only time when the story is real and hopefully unpredictable in some way as opposed to what you watch in scripted stuff.
Well,
Like those stories always have the same shape, basically.
yeah, and I've not watched every Dateline, but I'm going for the record.
Yeah.
And I love those. I love the Datelines, and I think a lot of it. I'm not just trying to get a lunch with Josh Mankiewicz.
Right.
That's not my only thing. But it's a way for me to get away. I think I know why I'm doing it. I can't stand. There was a time period where I like anything Trump oriented as a podcast. Now I'm going the other way.
Right.
I don't want to know anything about anything. So I want to go into. But why am I not going into a magical world of like butterfly collecting or something?
Like something positive, you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. I'm fascinated by the sociopath, psychopath. I am fascinated. And some of these ones, they advertise, we get inside their heads.
Yeah.
But they don't necessarily. I don't know that. I wanted to more like they found out he was a serial killer because he hated cereal. And don't you want to know? You want to know why these people. We don't want to know why they were that way, but I'm curious as to what makes someone that disturbed.
Yeah, I'm not that curious.
I heard one about. Did you ever hear the name Richard Speck?
Sure.
Did you know who he was?
Sure.
Now, why would you know who he was if you claim? I can't do the argument part, but why?
Because I watch news and things.
Okay, so Richard Speck is a serial killer,
Right.
but I didn't know who he was. So like Boston Strangler. Am I interested in learning about him? Yes, Boston Strangler.
Sure.
Catchy name.
He's a brand.
He's a brand. Now, I got into the Boston Strangler case.
Yeah.
Because it seems to be a doubt whether he actually was the Boston Strangler. So that's always fascinating. They got the wrong guy, right? That could be. Maybe they got the wrong guy.
Sure.
Kitty Genovese, does that ring a bell to you? Kitty Genovese?
Yeah.
There's questions as to whether she really was ignored, like in that
Article.
article, and also famous protest song. But I wouldn't want to. I know it wouldn't interest anybody outside a small circle of friends, and you wonder why that music didn't last on.
I prayed it won't last on further.
Do you know that song?
I don't.
Outside my window. Maybe this will make you want to listen to it. Outside my window, there's a woman being stabbed. They want it. And then he goes, but Monopoly's too much fun. Like they're not calling. See?
Was it that vaudevillian?
No. You know my performance level on these things are always, hey, Mister. I tend to favor
that song, but I do know the story.
Well, I guess maybe I'm just looking for a way to get out of my head,
right?
But I think it's maybe my problem is the constant questioning of everything I'm doing, including why I like the true crime things.
Yeah, I think that's the issue.
Yeah,
like I said, ride the wave.
That's true.
You'll eventually go, I'm bored, and you'll try something else.
Well, that's the thing too. I want to mix it up. Do you have a place that you you go where they recommend? Is it? I don't want to just go to iTunes. Where do you go to recommend a new podcast other than the Overcast app that I have?
I don't do any of the above.
Or because you don't want to listen to more podcasts.
Yeah, I'm not seeking out more podcasts.
Well, how do you want to get out of your head, like when you're shopping?
I don't want to get out of my head. I've got all these jokes going on in there.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
My head's not that bad a place to be.
You're right. If I had a whole vaudeville act.
Or there's some song always fucking playing.
Well, that is.
over and over and over.
That you can't, it's very hard to stop the song.
But yeah, no, I'm not seeking escape that much.
There is something
not to brag.
Well, no, I'm just like thinking about like the fact that you can be fascinated by something that you would never really want to experience. It's like I'm in a bad mood, too much Trump. I turn on the news and I read about someone killed his family. I mean, I don't know why why that is relieving me.
Right.
But these crazy stories, if you go past the scenes where they're crying, I don't like to watch them cry that much.
Right.
Because it's sad then.
Well, I think it's the same reason people watch fucking Jerry Springer and all that shit.
No, but those aren't real, though.
But it's still, my life is better than that.
Yeah, but that's like professional wrestling. That's why I could never really watch professional wrestling, although I think it's maybe better now than it used to be. But I never could, I couldn't watch things I knew were fixed.
Right.
Like Dateline. Well, I'm sorry. I went down that cul-de-sac.
That's okay. It's not a cul-de-sac. It's
what do you do? So you basically listen to music, right? When you're going around in your various activities?
I listen to music in the car.
Right.
That's. I mostly listen to music in the car. I don't walk around with headphones like ever.
That's healthy.
I don't know if it is or not. I just don't. I don't. I prefer. I like situational awareness.
Right, but you know where I realized if I was Roger Federer, that's when the headphones or famous tennis player.
Yeah, walking out to center court.
That's when
getting in the zone.
Everyone, Roger. Then you can be like, no, I'm listening to Daydream Believer. But I do have a new system that I'm crazy about. It's by Denon. You remember Denon, the company, Denon?
That made audio tape.
Oh, I didn't think about that. No, they used to make high-end electronics.
Okay, yeah, they made audio tape as well. But yes, I know who you're talking about.
I have one of those things where
I believe they made audio tape at least.
Where the music comes out of the thing that's like this size.
A boombox?
It's not a boombox though. It sounds better than any stereo I've ever had.
Yeah.
They really have. I never have had a good stereo system. So now I can input all my music. I'm not selling anything. This is where we would sell something.
Is it a Bluetooth thing or is it a hard drive bit? Okay.
It's a Bluetooth thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Or hooking into the Wi-Fi.
And it sounds good.
Yeah, and it sounds amazing. Wait do you hear it when I invite you over to the house? It's so bad. You know, do you think I'm a hoarder? Do you think that's what the deal is?
There's something going on over there. I know that much.
That's right. Why the constant smoke? Why the different colored smoke going up the chimney?
I don't know what it is, but I haven't been invited in 3 years now?
Yeah, it makes me sad. Everything about myself ultimately makes me sad. I wish there was a better spin on it.
Yeah.
But you know what? I can't feel bad about myself. I'm one of the co-hosts of a hit podcast. I've got.
Really? You have another podcast?
Oklahoma down the street, town. Wouldn't you love if we went into Oklahoma on every bit like that?
I think they would.
I think I might be out of material. we talked about Dennis Miller. Oh, I just want to say one thing to you more.
Yeah.
It is goddamn dark outside. Okay, I went out there. I was instantly scared. And now I am listening to more of these true crime things.
Right, sure.
The one guy's Australian.
Right.
And something about the way Australians convey serial killer information scares the living daylights out of me.
Scares the crikey out of you.
So I go to my car. I can't see in front of my face out there. You told me there were lights on the street. You lied to me.
There's a light above your car where you parked and set off your alarm. That's how I knew Andy was here, because I hear bang, 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 click.
No, I was saying to myself, now should I text him before I go in there so he knows that I'm here without causing a stir? How is Clyde doing?
Clyde is great.
That's unbelievable.
I know.
So you're just basically saying that Clyde doesn't like me now at this point.
Yes, he chose not to come down. He wasn't debilitated.
But Clyde's not supposed to come down.
No, he can come down now.
Can?
He's just conditioned to know what's going on.
Well, that's great.
Yes, we're very happy.
I'm so thrilled. I'm going to bring all of my imaginary pets over to the... can I say one thing? I know that I've said more than one thing. I know we've talked about it before, but it really does bother me, this Nutrish line.
Yeah.
How can anybody greenlight a line of someone who already
Allison actually bought some because we were looking for a dog food that we can actually buy at the grocery store, because otherwise the brands we were using kept not being available suddenly.
Oh, because they don't sell anything good there, or?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes, right.
And I gotta say, the dogs like the Nutrish.
All right. Okay, you know what? In a way, you win.
The dogs win. I wasn't pleased with it, but the dogs ate it.
But what is Nutrish? Isn't that one of her things?
I don't
Delish.
know. I don't know.
What if she started naming the dog food things the exact names of the other things that she serves? Short ribs in the exact same recipe I use for my People show. Do you see the problem? You do, right? You know what else bothers me? When I drive down Ventura and I see this place and there's a guy who's dressed like a butler, and it's just dogs. Just dogs.
Yeah.
What if you were starving in the desert? I don't know what my character is. It can't be someone who doesn't like dogs, though. So I withdraw from this conversation. I do feel like it's like adding insult to injury sometimes. How many amazing things there are for dogs, but that's not a good argument.
Right.
Why shouldn't dogs have great things? Just because I'm upset? I don't want dogs to enjoy themselves. But there's some kind of a bit about how these
we
days...
treat dogs better than people in this country.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. If I was a right-wing, alt-right guy...
I think that's a sentiment that's been explored.
See? That's because your mind's always computerized.
Exactly. Have you seen the Avengers movie? You don't watch those movies, do you?
I haven't seen the Avengers movie, but I'm obsessed with reading the reviews in the New Yorker for everything.
Yeah.
They're the most... forget the TV part. I'm never going to talk about the person I don't like on the TV part.
All right.
But the Anthony Lane and the people, they write sometimes the meanest... I think I read the meanest review I read in the New Yorker.
Yeah, of the Avengers?
Yeah, it was kind of the Avengers. That wasn't the meanest review, but it was in that same issue. But basically they were saying literally everybody in the world is in the movie.
Yeah.
And so what did you think of that?
I thought it was
garbage.
It wasn't garbage, but it felt like it's setting up the next movie, basically. It felt like the previously on the Avengers.
Yeah, it's one of those deals.
Like it felt like that was it could all be the previously on the Avengers for the next movie.
Yeah, and well, I was wondering how many people do you have to have? I mean, was all your favorites in there?
Yeah, all my favorites are there.
Was Scarlett Johansson in there?
She was.
Because she was in a sketch on Saturday Night Live, and I can't now remember if I'm thinking of the sketch or the movie, which I haven't seen. Here's the thing. If you want something ruined, like a thing you love, that's what Hollywood will do. That's what their specialty is. So they will ruin this. They will, even if you say to me, this is I know it's a legitimate genre, superheroes. I have nothing against them. But if you had told me 20 years ago every single movie would be a superhero movie, I would have told you, let's mix it up.
Yeah, it's getting over for me now.
Well, do you think it's
Even Star Wars is starting to get over for me.
Oh
now.
yeah, I couldn't go watch a Star Wars then.
I still will go watch them, but
Oh no, the last one I would watch because didn't
The Last
for
Jedi?
years George Lucas was just doing whatever the hell he wanted, and he was remaking his regular original movies, and wasn't he screwing around with the original movies?
yes.
Right, but then the last movie he made.
See, I'm just like I'm like.
What?
Do I even want to go down this?
Why not?
Do I want to go down this road
totally
with someone
sincere.
who has no fucking idea what he's talking about?
I do know that Jar Jar Binks isn't funny.
Yeah.
Is that? Those are from the movies that he went sour, right?
Yes.
And the Jar Jar Binks is just like really hacky comedy written in a stereotypical way.
It was bad, and it was written in sort of a patois that was sort of
That
racist.
you could, yeah. Like so okay, but the last Star Wars was supposed to be good because it was one of the original. I don't know why I'm saying that. It wasn't Lucas.
Right.
And why would I say Luke? We gotta have Luke. I'm sick of George Lucas. I'm just tired.
He's
of him.
no longer involved.
And I'm sick of his hairline and everything involved.
Yeah. The hairline's still in the movie.
But he doesn't
But
need to.
he's
Right.
not.
Yeah.
Right.
So I couldn't go watch one of those. But I haven't even seen a James Bond movie. I mean,
I know.
there's so many movies I haven't seen. I don't have an excuse.
You've been listening to true crime shit instead.
I love it. I really do love getting out of my own head.
Now that I know what's in there, I can see why.
Oh my God! You've made me feel horrible.
It's
now.
hard to be you. That's my point.
Oh my God! You got in with that one. That one got in.
Wasn't a slam.
Oh, even worse then somehow.
It was a sympathetic observation.
About me or what am I
About
doing?
about
I
the
can't-
pain that you live in.
You know what the problem is?
Constant pain.
I'm watching too much MSNBC, and so everybody's a lawyer. I'm a lawyer now.
Right.
You're a lawyer. Everyone's a lawyer, and we are all trying each other. And I love Michael Avenatti. I don't know. He looks a little like my cousin.
I think he's about your size too.
Are you serious?
I think he's a little
How
man.
does that guy do it? I wouldn't mess with him. He looks tough.
Yeah.
Please tell me this is all going to be over soon. I say that
Really?
he's going to resign soon.
Oh, I thought you meant this podcast.
No, well, that's a separate issue. He should resign.
Michael Avenatti or Trump?
Trump soon. But then
Yeah,
he's
he
not going
should.
to. He's not going to.
No, he's
and
not.
he's going to be there for 8 years? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I don't think he'll be there for 8 years.
Well, who will come in then? Romney? We should be the laughing stock of the world. There's no excuse for it's like, yes, a country tried to steal our election, but why did we get so stupid?
Well, it's a long trail.
It is a long trail.
It's a trail of tears.
Now, what do you got? You got anything written down there? You haven't?
I don't have that much shit going on, really. I have a bunch of stuff sort of simmering, but nothing. I've been not productive by my standards recently.
Now, does that bother you? Or you say, it'll come back around, my interest?
A little bit of both.
Yeah, I can understand
And
that.
I'm trying not to be. Instead I've been like, shredding tons and tons of shit from my office, and
I think that is
just trying to change the atmosphere around me.
that works.
Yeah,
Surface cleaning absolutely works. Sometimes it's the only thing I can do.
I have massive clutter going on there.
I'm afraid to go back into that. I remember that office, but I don't remember. I think there was something moving.
It's not OCD friendly.
But there are people who have sloppy offices like yours who are OCD. I don't know why I'm saying that. I have nothing to say. I'm just saying some people are hoarders in OCD. So
Right.
they must not have the germ thing then.
Right.
That's a weird thing. I see. I would think anybody
It's a
who's
different
OCD
cocktail.
It is
Very
a different
strong.
cocktail. I don't understand the hoarding thing. I mean, it frightens me to hear about it, but it's also fascinating when I hear about the hoarding.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of these, I'm not saying only serial killers are hoarders. That wouldn't be right.
No.
But when a couple of these stories was like, and then we got to their apartment. I don't know why it was fascinating to me that when they got to the apartment of this person who was the killer, it was covered with all kinds of. It's like something fascinating about hearing how horrible things are.
Right.
Someone should look into it.
And do you fear going down that road? Do you fear that?
Not really.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't fear going down any road, really. I think that my disease, if I don't watch it, is questioning. is trying to find the problems where there aren't problems.
Right.
Instead of just saying, here's a perfect example. I obsess about what will people say about me if I died today? How would they? Instead of what the real thing should be, why don't you listen to a couple more? If you like it, you listen to more. If you don't like it, you go to another subject. You stupid Jew. No, I don't know why you said that to me in your mind, but that's what I say to that.
Well, if I have anything to do with your obituary,
It won't say stupid Jew?
I will not put stupid Jew, nor will I put the contents of your iPod.
What would you say? Would you say that would the thrust of the obituary be, why would I be writing about this guy? Or would the thrust of the obituary be what might have been? Or is the idea that
total hagiography?
Total hagiography. Or is the sickest thing to actually sit around wondering if you will be eulogized or obituaried?
I don't know. John McCain wanted to make sure that Trump wasn't at his funeral this week.
That's the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Yes.
If I do write a memoir, that would be my only reason to write a memoir, would be to tell certain people not to go to my funeral.
Right.
God damn it, that made me happy.
Name 2 people on that list, on the don't come to Andy's funeral list.
Giuliani. I don't want him there.
No.
But the thing about it is, like, I actually think McCain, I can't think that way. Like, my wife and I, we haven't even done the will thing. Have you?
Not as much of, we don't have all of the bases covered.
Well, you have to have there's some bases, you might as well not cover anything if you don't do the thing, and I don't have it.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to prepare for it. So, in a way, I don't want to prepare for anything. It's part of me. But the other part of me is that thinking his family would not enjoy to have that asshole at his funeral.
Right.
So I think it's a selfless act. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I like that he did that. Do you think it's a little petty? Like Tom Petty?
No, I think it's intellectually honest. You know, yes, of course. It's not petty because I think he's an enemy. You know what I mean?
Right. And it's actually, he's thinking in his mind.
And I think it's a weapon, too.
Against Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's, partially meant to embarrass him.
I just wish.
But I just think it's funny that the, Trump is president except for anything where humanity is required. He couldn't go to the Bush funeral. He couldn't go to the McCain funeral.
It is unbelievable. He has all the worst attributes of almost every person who's ever been bad.
Yes.
I can't think of one positive attribute except that occasionally he can be funny.
Right.
But it still doesn't make me go, I want to see that side more.
Right. Yeah, it's like comic dealing with a heckler funny.
Right. Exactly. And he's not self-aware at all.
No.
It's all...
Yeah. He doesn't laugh at funny.
Yeah, he's one of those people who does not laugh at anything.
Should we go to
Sure.
questions? Let's see. It looks like
Viewer mail.
We've got a little crop of them, it looks like.
I even helped.
You did. You put out a little promo. You're a helper, Andy. Okay, Derek Faraci says, so test show 52 opens with Andy Kindler giggling, followed by him saying, "Oh, I'm working on my new weasel cackle," and I laughed for 3 minutes straight. You all need to listen to Thought Spiral.
I would say if anybody could make a review, that would be the review I would want, because that's all I'm trying to do. And the other thing what I'm trying to do is, when it doesn't happen, not to force it, which I do too. I do everything that you can do that you shouldn't do when you're not being funny. I beat myself up.
But yet you managed to be funny.
How do I do it?
How do you do it?
How do I do it?
How do you do it?
Do you think scientists will be
interested? It's a goddamn magic trick is what it is, Andy.
Do you think you should cryogenically freeze my whole body or just my penis? And the penis thing would be just for a joke.
Yeah, just for the tattoos.
You would freeze your penis because it contained the tattoo?
Yeah.
Shorty's Pizzeria. We deliver. Ask about our calzones. Located catty corner from Eddie's auto dealership. Ask about our large penises.
I almost literally walked away for a while.
Wouldn't have stopped me.
Cynthia C. Well, it looks like actually there's a few things we've already touched on. As boys, were you fans of the Three Stooges? Were they funny or brutal? Did their constant hitting and banging each other's heads reflect a time or an earlier one?
I don't know if I've ever heard your take. on the Three Stooges.
Not a fan. Never was.
And I would say the same for me.
It was mean.
It was mean. It made me depressed often.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was never funny to me. It always felt super staged.
Yes.
So it was never
no surprise.
Yeah, there was no surprises. There was just sort of this ballet of super violence.
And that's why I probably will always love Laurel and Hardy, because I can think back right now and they're doing things that you could go watch again. I don't know. I haven't watched them in a long time.
Yeah.
But the idea that the frenetic beating of someone else's face.
Right.
Hey, what are you, wise guy? Uh-oh, here it comes.
And the belittling.
The belittling. Belittling actually sounds familiar to me.
Yeah.
I can't even say I have a favorite stooge.
I'm a Shemp man.
I mean, you gotta like Mo and just in general when it all shakes out. He was the brains of the operation. Forget it. I'm done. If you could take that last part out, I'd be very happy.
Okay,
Just the whole thing.
Will do. Seth Dick the Third. Does Foster Brooks do tongue twisters like rubber burb, rubber burb, rubber baby burb, burb, burgy bummers? I don't know if he does.
You didn't do a switch at the end there. Rubber. I can't believe. The more I hear of Foster Brooks, the less I can believe that could be a phenomenon. Is that could that mean what should I do? Is what that makes me think.
He was a phenomenon. Very popular.
I can't believe that I was slightly waiting to be delighted by what you would come up with.
Is that in general?
That does kind of define my demeanor.
Right. Hey, Jen Kirkman.
Yeah. Is that Jen Kirkman?
It's Jen Kirkman.
I love the way she capitalizes.
I was wondering if Jen Kirkman was still on board.
Is she?
She is. She's right here.
No, I love
okay.
Jen, I love you. I love you. Forget about what the others say. Okay.
Okay, guys. I'm going to need to hear Dennis M. do Karen, not as a song, but as a one-sided conversation with Karen. I need this.
Hello?
Hey, Karen, let me tell you something.
What?
You're not stable. You're a troubled chick. You make Reagan from The Exorcist look stable.
Wow, that's a little harsh. It's a little harsh.
And I'm not the man to help you, Karen.
Why?
In a crisis, I'm like Gilligan when the headhunters show up. You need someone to help you belong. You need someone to help you be strong.
Cha-cha.
I can't help you be strong.
Choo-choo.
I'm like a can of peas for Popeye, not spinach.
You had to tag it with not spinach. So anyway, choo-choo, Karen, don't waste. Hey, cha-cha-cha. Don't waste your time on me.
I'm about as good of a use of your time as listening to my podcast on
Podcast what? That will be we'll go back to this well.
Yeah. Danbo, is that okay, Jen? I hope that's okay.
I thought.
Danbo Marche says, when will Thought Spiral branded desk intercoms be available so my kids can ask Mr. Weinstein to come in, please?
Mr. Weinstein, please. That would be a great gift.
Right.
You know, I got bought by my friend Rosie Flores, the musician, one of those little things that like it sounds like a laugh, someone's laughing, or it has like about 15, 20 sounds.
Little sound effects
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
God, am I bored with that already? The first time you hit the ba-dum bump. Yeah, it's all that. Ow, ow, ow.
Weird. This is like very. Andy mentioned not long ago that he dined with Rosie Flores in Austin.
Wow.
Did he know Country Dick Montana?
I know that name, but I don't. It doesn't ring.
I asked because Rosie did some Pleasure Barons shows, maybe tours, and Dick was funny as hell.
Oh, I did see the Pleasure Barons. The Pleasure Barons were with Mojo Nixon and
Country Dick
Dave
Montana.
Alvin. Oh, wow. I should have known that because I did see them in Redondo Beach, and they were great. Thank you, everybody. The Pleasure Barons. That's Rosie Flores, Dave. I think it's Dave Album's in there too, from the Blasters. Dave Album was in the Blasters. Then he has an incredible solo career. He's really great. You know his stuff, Dave Alvin?
Yes.
What are you giving me that look?
I'm not conversant, but I know who he is.
Well, I'm very...
And what he does.
I'm a very bright man, Josh. You should learn that by looking at the books I pretend to read. Well, I'm reading one now about algorithms.
Really? Michelle Weiscover. How does one get past, I'm not going to tweet/write/say that because I'm sure someone else has had this thought? How do you escape the fear of not being completely original? It thwarts my thought process a lot. As always, love the show and both of you. You have to get past that. Unless you see hard evidence or someone says, hey, I've seen someone else do that. You have to just go, my take is my take. And yes, there might be topics that cross over with other people. But, eventually if you have a sense of your voice, you're just going to go, well, this is my take on it.
Well, I definitely understand what she's going through, though, because I have a couple of times, like embarrassingly to me, done a joke that everyone thought of.
Right.
So then, like you add this whole other level of judgment to yourself. So I do understand the thing. Like I tweeted the other day. I said I did a joke. I said if this joke I'm sure this joke's been done on the thread. If it hasn't. If it has, sorry. So, because I am conscious of it sometimes, because then it opens up the other kettle of fish where people have accused, they're just trolls will accuse you of stealing something.
Right.
So, but all of that stuff really you should let go of, is what you're basically saying.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I did Pepsi. What's when they say is Pepsi okay should be I said is Pepsi okay should be their slogan. I didn't realize after I had done that one really has been done a million times.
Right. Yeah, I mean...
And with nothing you can do. What can you do? You can't, you just avoid... I think like a genius.
Avoid the obvious.
Yeah, that's
First
true.
of all.
But what I'm saying is you shouldn't be so... I think what happens is, I can understand, you don't want to get yourself to the point where you're just so, thinking about it too much. Just it's an OCD thing almost. You're obsessing about it.
Yeah.
Which I can do, so I relate to it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely one of those things you throw up as fear, fake or real.
Yeah.
But it can, it's on the standard list of...
Right, troubles.
Of things you throw in your own way,
Right.
Everyone does worry about it because, there is nothing new under the sun in a lot of ways.
Well, there is definitely a terrible thing if you do worry all the time, which you do. I did more with music than I do with comedy. With music, I really do worry. Does that sound like My Sweet Lord, which sounded like the other song?
Right.
So it's something that anybody does anything does think about, but
right. But with stand-up, it's like I'm so unfamiliar with so many comics that there's always the risk that you're going to hit the same joke, but I just feel like at this point, my credibility answers that question. Is it stolen or not?
Well, I did that joke that
you know what I mean?
You said that you heard since you were a kid, but I never heard it. But I still said I'm not a practicing Jew,
right?
Because I've got it down. So because it fit in a certain place in the set that I didn't want to let go of, I checked with every comic I could find to see if any comic had done it.
No, it was more of a dad joke.
More of a dad joke, then I was like, okay, I was okay with it then.
Right.
Having thought like a dad.
That was one on Letterman, right?
Letterman, yeah.
Yeah. I felt a little bad calling you out for it, but I also wanted you to know before you...
You told me before. Yeah. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
No, afterwards would be sad, but you did tell me before.
I did tell you before, yes. Velvety wants to know who taught you two how to play music. Andy Kindler, is your wife a musician/singer? Is your wife, I'm going to say, because mine is.
Oh, I see. You read stuff with a good inflection. What was the first part of the question?
Who taught you two how to play music?
Both of us. How'd you learn?
Mostly self-taught, but I took lessons on various instruments growing up. I took piano lessons. I played trombone. I played trumpet.
I've never even gotten a sound out of those.
I think I took bass lessons for a minute when I was a kid, but It's all been almost all self-taught.
And mine was from classical music, which I took as a kid. I was a classical violinist, and I hated it after a while, but it did teach me how to read music. And then when I was 15, 16, I got into guitar, and because my arm was broken. So I could hold it in the chord. It could form chords, but I couldn't move.
Gotcha.
So that's how I did it. And then the rest is not so much history. Really? You couldn't say my music career is history. Well, maybe you could say that.
I think that's exactly what it is.
That's exactly what you're going to do.
Jimmy Calloway just wanted to say the show never fails to make me laugh out loud. Thanks for making Mondays much more tolerable. Thank you, Jimmy Calloway.
Thank you, Jimmy Calloway. That is like the greatest thing. Feedback.
Velvety, this was, I think, the first part. I loved those two songs today. Seriously, J. Elvis, Weinstein, and Andy Kindler, I would buy a CD of you guys jamming and putting those two tracks on it.
All right.
That's just never going to happen.
Well, something will happen. When we do one of our bonus Patreons.
Yeah, no, I mean, we already, we gave the songs away already.
Yeah, the songs are given up. Oh, no. I'm tracking. I have a guy from BMI tracking all of our airplay.
Excellent. Greg W. wants to know, has Mark Maron listened to the show? Given any tips? Told you to quit now?
I haven't spoken to him about it.
I bet he hasn't.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if he hasn't because he's busy.
Very busy.
Yeah. He's always got stuff to do. But I think about him all the time while I do it because he was very inspirational for me and for podcasts. So I will definitely accost him, make him feel guilty about not listening.
Right. Well, he definitely gave us a boost at the beginning by mentioning our show. So I'm sure a lot of people here are here because they heard that.
Well, also, a lot of he does seem to know a lot of the people he's interviewing and listen to their music and stuff. That would be tough for me to know about things, to interview people. I'm really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who needs it? I don't read that much. I know you read novels, but I don't read that much anymore. I read, but not long things. How many books a day do you read? How many books a year?
How many books a year?
Yeah.
I probably read 6 actual books a year.
That sounds normal and 5 more than I do. But I love reading. But I don't know what the deal is. I love reading The New Yorker, and because I'm very sophisticated.
Right.
But I like reading shorter things.
Yeah.
I just X'd myself out of that bit.
I think it was Z's.
I Z'd myself out.
Derek Ferracci wants to know which of you wins in an arm wrestling match.
Josh is a stronger man than me. Is that really an issue? Do you think anybody would see us out and go, "Oh boy, that Josh must be scared to walk around with that guy, with that bruiser"? But you don't like to wrestle. Neither one of us. I like to wrestle.
Do you?
I do, but not as an adult because you get hurt.
Yeah, and you look like fucking really weird.
Yeah, but did you ever like wrestling when you were a kid with your brother?
I didn't like it because he was trying to hurt me.
Oh, does he feel bad about it?
Oh yeah.
Your brother beat you up?
Beat me up is too extreme.
But he
was my enemy, and he wanted to destroy me.
And you guys have since talked about it and everything, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, we're all good now.
But why do you think it was so intense? It just
because I think it was just a case of just birth order blues. I think it was just literally just like from the moment I showed up when he was 3.5.
Who needed it?
It was just like, who fucking needs this?
Wow.
And then,
but you got into fist fight? No, I can't see.
We got into
tussles,
melees, But a lot of it was him, hurting me. It wasn't until I got older and bigger that there was an actual
Was there a thing?
No, it was just like, okay, now I could win.
Okay, then he would back off a little bit, right? Neither one of you
were
were
just
fighters,
too old
right?
to fight, but he tormented me liberally.
Well, that actually makes me feel.
And I'm sure I was a pain in the ass too, but
that's
it was
the thing.
But it was clear, like I always knew that it was just like he resents the shit out of me. That was very clear to me from the
earliest moments of drawing breath on this earth.
And he wasn't terrible consistently,
right?
There was times where he was a perfectly good big brother,
Yeah.
But the basic feeling of resentment was
Always
always
stayed.
there. It was always an
That was a
umbrella.
first read on your relationship. Now, did your parents try and intercede in any way?
Oh, of course.
They
Yeah.
did.
I just want you to get along. Yeah.
Oh my
It was all that
God,
shit.
that's just terrible.
Yeah.
The whole thing sounds terrible.
But yeah,
believe it,
it wasn't like calling a social worker bad,
Right.
but it was it was sort of like I sort of felt like Clouseau coming home to Cato sometimes.
You felt like what?
Like Inspector Clouseau coming home to Cato.
I don't even know what that is. I know Inspector Clouseau.
Forget it. See the movies.
That is not my
them.
dog, right? But why would he come home to Cato from the Green Hornet? What is Cato? Isn't Cato from?
Cato. Cato.
Is that from the?
The Pink Panther.
Yeah, I've never seen the Pink Panther. The only line I know is "It's not my dog."
Yeah. Okay.
Don't get mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger.
No, there's just so much you haven't seen.
But let me ask you something. Have you seen the remake?
No.
Have you seen anything he remade?
Who?
Steve Martin, because he's a great actor sometimes, but
Like Father of the Bride, you mean?
that was good. Yeah. I don't know what I'm saying. Just cut me out completely. Is there a way of cutting me out of the whole podcast except financially?
You're in and out.
Look at Lucky.
She's adorable.
She's like a coffee brown almost.
Perush wants to know, Josh, are you planning to post your songs on SoundCloud? Loved the 2 numbers and the Cinematic Titanic theme. Thank you.
Yeah, I like the
I'll
cinematic
throw them up on SoundCloud at some point. Maybe
Yeah.
by the time this airs.
Oh well, don't
So look
try
at
and compete.
SoundCloud, J. Elvis Weinstein.
Don't try and compete with my SoundCloud offerings.
Get off of your SoundCloud is what you're saying?
That was one of my favorite songs when they first went digital. Hey, you sign up for SoundCloud. Can you believe they paid the Stones? Also, they used the original song for the commercial.
Weird.
Hey, you sign up for SoundCloud. Hey, you, are you enjoying SoundCloud?
All right.
Hey, I love that it's so pedestrian. Hey, you, have you heard about SoundCloud? And they spend millions upon millions of dollars to get people to sign.
Andrew Dempsey says, Andy, you have to watch Casino Royale with Daniel Craig.
Okay.
And remember, parkour was still very cool in 2004.
Who?
Parkour.
Parkour.
Yes.
What's that?
It's that thing where it's like skateboarding without skateboards, like those people who jump around
Did we talk
the
about
sides
that?
of buildings and
Oh, parkour.
parkour.
Well, wait a second. Are you saying there's 2 Casino Royales?
There's the Daniel Craig one, and then there's the Woody Allen one with David Niven.
Okay. So they haven't remade James Bond movies. The actual franchise hasn't, right?
No.
I know one that has Goldfinger.
Which one is that? Thunderball?
It has Odd Job in it. Is he in that one too? Odd Job.
Yeah.
These can't be really good movies. They were, and I missed the boat on them.
Goldfinger is great.
Yeah, it sounds good. It does sound good. It is my fault.
Tommy Barcanero wants to know, how do you feel about Conan's upcoming transition to a 30-minute format focused on digital content and field pieces? Will you miss the hour-long format and celebrity interviews?
I certainly will, since I didn't know it was happening.
Yes, they announced this week.
This week they announced it?
Yes.
Oh, that makes me sad. It does make me. I don't know. I loved going on that show.
Yeah.
So now, self-sabotage. Well, how will that affect my stand-up? What do you think?
I still haven't been able to go on the show, so I'm ambivalent. I think that's the old talk show format is kind of old at this point.
Yeah.
And he's very good at that stuff.
Right.
So it makes sense, kind of. Like, most of it just gets divvied up into internet chunks anyway.
I guess so, but I don't know. I love Andy Richter. I
do too, and I hope they keep all that intact.
Oh, you're saying it's just the amount of time?
It's the amount of time they're still going to do in studio. I think
they're
they'll still have a
okay.
guest. I assume they'll still have a monologue.
I don't quite get the...
But I think they'll do a lot of roll-in pieces, too.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking to take a break myself. I may cut back
Yeah.
on all my show business activity, my shows. I'd love to be in that position. Andy, this is the year where you have to think about maybe going to a 15-minute format.
Yes.
Look, I'm not going to stop. You could break in. Do you mind if I cut in?
Our friend Yoshi Yamamoto, Josh.
Yamamoto, Yoshi Yamamoto.
Josh, do you view it as a necessary part of your career arc that you had writing jobs that paid well but you didn't really enjoy? For example, is it likely you wouldn't have been able to do Cinematic Titanic or make documentaries without having some financial security? That is absolutely the case. It
allowed you.
It totally allowed me. Mostly America's Funniest Home Videos was the show that, because of it was on in 80 countries, so the residual streams were robust for a long time.
Wow.
And I did a lot of them.
How many years total do you think you were?
I think I did 6 or 7 years in a couple of different roles. Like I was 2 years as head writer and then 5 or 6 years as that writing from home sweet gig.
So is the spigot still on?
The spigot is down to a trickle now.
Oh, because they don't play them as reruns that often. I guess they do.
They do, but they play
them?
newer ones. I mean, I've been gone almost 10 years now from it.
Wow.
So there's been like a full 100 episodes or whatever since I left.
Which all you see
or
is
200 episodes.
And you see that
so those are the ones that rerun.
But you had to go when you went.
Yeah, I don't regret it. I left a lot of money on the table, but I also took a lot of a lot of soul back from the table.
Yeah, because it's just I mean, it is amazing that there is a Jewish part of all of us who are Jewish. You never quit when things are, one of those deals.
Yeah, but I just know too many people who, I mean, that was the ultimate golden handcuff show.
Right,
right. Because it's run for 30 years, But yeah, I mean, TV was, going back to the question. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
TV was, I don't think it, I don't see it as a necessary evil, because I don't think there's anything evil about it.
Right.
But it's just been it's what I thought I wanted to do. And then through doing it for 14, 15 years, I kind of went, well, is that all there is?
Well, you've been doing what you were wanting to do the whole time. It's just taking different forms. Although you say, what do you want to do? I'd like to be a big famous actor who goes and has a honey wagon.
Yeah. I just want to keep doing different shit. That's really, that's still the goal. I do really want to go back to making money. That was nice, and I miss it.
That is definitely something that's good to do. But I realized like that when I was a kid, I used to want to be in movies, but I really loved the movies that came out when we were kids, like, well, I was a kid, 5 Easy Pieces, all these different things.
All right.
But when you think about what's involved on being on a movie set, it's not I don't think acting on a movie set, it's easy for me to say, having not done much of it, but it doesn't. I don't know if it's as fun. I like to have been in 5 Easy Pieces and these famous movies.
Right.
Or what I would do a lot as a kid is I would imagine I was in a movie, like walk down the street with a serious look on my face.
Yeah.
But I'm happy. I think there's nothing better than doing stand-up comedies, but I don't really know. Sometimes stand-up comedy is not funny.
I mean, but
nothing is a panacea.
It's still the best. It's still the best thing.
Yes.
Doing stand-up.
I used to want to be
like
one
in
of
a good situation on a good night. There's,
nothing better. But I'm worried about
really
jinxing
is
it.
Very little better than that.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx it, but you're right.
How would you jinx it?
Because
now you'll never have a good night again.
What's that?
Now you'll never have a good night again.
No, I think it's the Buddhist thing. If you get too attached to, I have to have great sets, but that's not even what we're saying.
That's not what we're saying.
We're just talking about the world.
There's a zone you get into, and I hate to use the word zone, but when you're on stage and your brain is operating right, and you're thinking on 6 different levels at once, and it's all operating well,
yes,
it feels fucking great.
Well, also you're in the moment too. I mean,
it's purely in the moment, and that's it. I mean, and that's kind of it. There's nothing more immediate. There's nothing more moment based.
That's true. I'm not amazed that it's continued on, but I think it's pretty cool that we've still been able to enjoy comedy just as, okay, now I'm going to be funny.
Right.
Because I think it's a weird thing, but I'm not tired yet of it.
Right. Well, I mean, it's the exact, if we all want approval, it's like the exact right flavor approval.
Or if you want to feel not approval. I had that for many years. I could also feel the wrath of humankind.
Right. Stand by Your Man says, we actually talked about this as well. Have either of you ever gotten into any hip-hop? I don't think you've talked about it when the convo has led to music, but a lot of episodes, a lot of pot. I asked because there'd be mutual respect. But I asked because I feel there'd be mutual respect between comedians and MCs, wordcraft and such.
I think so. I mean, I look at it when I just don't know a lot about it, but when I look at it and I enjoy it, it seems to me to be like the highest thing, art in a way. When the words come together, I can't explain what I'm trying to say, but there's something kind of amazing about it. It's when the words come together, it's one of the best ways to hear words. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it has the rhythm. I know maybe I'm not a critic, but it has the rhythm involved in it, and so I just think it. So I always think, I couldn't. There's always that thing of like I couldn't do that, but once you get past the I couldn't do that,
right? I really can't. I'm a terrible rapper.
I haven't tried except for joke trying.
Right. I always sound like Jim Belushi doing the white guy rap in 1983 on SNL.
Yeah.
But I like it, but I don't have flow.
Right. Well, I don't want to become a rapper.
I'm the only rapper who says a lot while he's rapping.
What I'm deep into right now, and I think it's going to be for a long time, is R&B, which I have always loved. But now I got the Stax 50 years, and I love R&B. With what they call R&B, that I think I want to write in that mode.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to do. I don't know why. It's just a thing I wanted to say. But there's so many great, I missed a lot of those Stax things, or I wasn't aware of the Stax stuff.
Right.
But it's
hard to believe you missed out on some cultural thing.
What am I, Greg Kinnear? What am I, Greg Kinnear during the...
I don't know. Have you ever seen a James Bond movie?
Yeah, that is very disappointing. I think that I'm... How do people do anything, though? And you have to be a genius to go, oh, yeah, I've read every classic. I've seen every movie. Who could... People have seen every movie, like Doug Benson or somebody like that.
Yeah.
They've seen them all.
Frank Conniff. Shouldn't we? Well, you probably do have that knowledge in certain parts of your life. Music. Oh my God! I don't know what I'm trying to go for. I don't really either. Lone Shark says, "Love the music this week. Time to get the band back together."
When people say that, they realize there's not a lot of money in getting the band back together. I would like to.
I'm glad you liked the music. Thank you, though.
Yeah, it was great, and I'd like to play. I'd like to. Of course, I'm thinking about me. I like to jam more. You could come over here with my blues riffs.
Justin Mantell says, I'd be interested to learn the origin of Andy's Taekwondo training, why he gave it up, if he misses it, and why he still fears being beaten up.
Well, that's a whole long story. I don't think I can get into all of it, but I do, because it's actually a painful story that...
you had a falling out.
I had a falling out with my Taekwondo teacher, but... So I don't know exactly how I would get into it, except that I still love that I did it. I still think about it a lot. I love the moves of Taekwondo.
How did you get into it is the question.
Oh, I just got scared about getting into a fight. And too long about being scared about getting into a fight, so I realized it's not healthy to be walking around with no skills and be this scared.
Right.
So that's why I took it.
And how old were you when you started?
I was in 1996, so I was already a man.
So 40-ish.
Right. 39, I think, exactly.
Okay.
But anyway, so I learned from doing it that the idea of thinking your way out of fear, like, oh, I'm scared about getting in a fight. If I take Taekwondo, will I not be scared about getting in a fight? It doesn't work that way.
No. So it never gave you the confidence you were seeking?
It does give me confidence, but not when I fantasize about being in a fight. It still doesn't sound good to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think.
But
of
when
my-
you think of a fight occurring, do you see yourself taekwondoing?
I do, because you learn it to the point where it's reflex.
Instinctual. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not confident I would win.
Right.
But that's also a way of thinking that's very OCD too.
Right.
You know, the main thing is you learn, and then hopefully you'll be able to use it. I love the moves though. I love Taekwondo because it has a lot of kicking. The kicking is great. I love side kicks.
I love the kicking.
with
the kicking.
No, it's really beautiful. I love kicking.
Yeah.
I do, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it again.
No.
I'm tired, Josh.
Would your black belt translate to another dojo?
I think it would. Yeah, I would be a. If I went to another dojo, it would be. The question would be, if I did it again, would I start with something new from the beginning? I don't know. I haven't thought about
Like
it.
Krav Maga.
Supposed to be pretty good Krav Maga.
Justin E. Doggeroni wants to know, what would you choose for your last meal?
What would I choose for my last? Brisket. Sushi, maybe the best sushi. Prime rib. What do you like?
Well, it depends why it was my last meal. I guess before.
I think the premise is always terrible, right?
If I was going to the electric chair, I'd probably go barbecue.
It is a premise that will never get more enjoyable to think about. What if they were about to electrocute you? What if they were about to kill you with certain drugs that they're not even sure if they still kill properly?
Then I would go with everlasting gobstopper.
What is that?
It's a Willy Wonka candy.
Jesus Christ. Mr. Reference Police.
Go with the everlasting gobstopper.
I could see when you just did that, I could see you would think Dennis Miller would be tired of being
I've
dead.
got another puzzle for you, Oompa Loompa.
Also from Justin E. Doggeroni, shopping for a bass, and some purists are against 5 strings. Your thoughts?
I wouldn't know how to play a 5-stringer.
I think that's the answer right there, is if you know what to do with that 5th string, go for it.
Yeah, because what is it, a double something?
No, it's just an extra.
Oh.
It's the next string of a guitar. Like the first 4 strings are E, A, D, G, like on a guitar.
Oh, and then so it's a...
So it would be a B.
B?
B is what's the 5th string on a guitar, yeah.
I'm really...
E, A, D, G, B, E.
I am really starting to forget things. Yeah. But, okay.
Yeah.
What did you just say, though, about it?
I would say I have no beef with a 5-string bass.
Oh, yeah.
I
Anybody,
don't play bass in a way that requires it.
No,
Because I'm a simpleton.
Anybody who would have a problem with it would be somebody who couldn't play it, or I'm trying to let go of these things where, like, part of me thinks the best bass playing is with your fingers.
Yeah.
But I've heard a lot of great bass players play with a pick.
Oh, yeah.
So, really, all those rules things mean nothing in a way, or to use it or not use it. Although I always felt weird playing 12 strings.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite sound the same to me. I mean, it doesn't sound as much fun to play.
No. Well, there's 6 more ways to go wrong. I Splotchy wants to know, have you been to Graceland? How did you feel about it if you did? If not, any desire to visit?
I haven't been. I might visit if I was in Memphis.
If I was in Memphis and had a day, I would probably do it, but it's not it's not on my bucket list.
I love Elvis, but the thing about Elvis being memorialized at Graceland seemed a little depressing to me, but maybe it would be fun.
They showed a lot. They had a lot of great shots from within Graceland in that recent Elvis doc on HBO, The Searcher.
Oh, was it good?
Yeah, it's good.
It's called The Searcher.
Yeah, it's a little slow moving. It's a two-parter, but it's.
Is it based on the guy who wrote those 2 books that I still haven't read? The Last Train to Memphis and the other one.
Yeah, it's based on the other one. No, I don't know. It's the end of the world as we know it. Congrats to J. Elvis Weinstein and Andy Kindler on their 1-year anniversary for Thought Spiral Podcast. 52 episodes. Wow. I've loved listening to each and every one and look forward to many more. Thank you.
Beautiful. How can you not like this? I'm just basking in the afterglow.
Velvety again. Happy first anniversary. For a first-year anniversary, the traditional gift is paper. You already write joke ideas in a notebook, so what paper gift would you give to each other for this fond occasion?
I've got plenty of notebooks.
A joint.
A joint. That's right. Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Well, no, they just give us the paper, though, for joints.
It's paper-based.
All right.
That's what I do, yeah. Ben Stone says, hey guys, the advice you gave me back in TS45 about motivation and finishing projects has genuinely helped me, and I'm happy to report that my productivity has really picked up. In honor of this, I was wondering if you both have ways of celebrating a finished project.
Oh, that's interesting.
I like to slip into a depression and fear that the next project will never come. No, I don't have a big celebratory. I don't have a big celebratory streak in general, though.
I do, in the sense that, like, when I know that I'm done with the speech for the year.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to motivate myself differently now. I used to motivate myself with fear and loathing and everything. So now I actually am good when I know I don't have to do something.
Right.
I do enjoy that. I
love the feeling.
Yeah.
I do love the feeling.
Walk around town.
Yeah.
Smoke pot.
When I finish a project, because I always walk around with a sort of pressure of I should be working right now.
Right.
Which I'm sure every artist does. And so that feeling of there's nothing I have to be doing right now.
I like that.
But it's it's hours long for me. It's really, I can't take even weeks.
Well, like Susan and I, when we've gone to, because like we don't run, if we had our druthers, we'd run late just because we want to run late. We're trying to get better at that. But we've gone on vacations where we've gone to like a great hotel in Laguna Beach and done nothing for 3 days. We really enjoy that.
Yeah.
We go to dinner at the last possible moment. We sleep in, so I do like that idea of doing nothing,
right.
But I know it would get old because,
I'm really bad at leisure. Really bad at it.
Wow. How about Allison?
I am insta-bored. Allison's pretty good at it.
So, yeah.
But like, I don't, I don't spend any, if I'm not sleeping, I get out of bed. I don't spend time in bed.
Well, I don't want to be like a depressed.
I don't
shut in.
I don't like lying out by pools or beaches very much. I don't know. I'm mostly happy when I'm working and being productive is when I'm happy.
Do you like board games? I don't like board games.
I do not. No. But
poker, I do.
Yeah.
Are you trying to shoot me through some kind of daggers?
No, I'm not. I was trying to think of something to say or make a pause so I could edit cleanly.
How would I ever know if someone was shooting me daggers since I see it all the time?
That's right. Is there any other look? Kelly on Conway West, did you know that Dennis Miller is now a regular guest on Adam Carolla's podcast?
Oh, my God.
Wasn't sure if Andy wanted to give a hate listen.
Oh, I am going to give
nails on a chalkboard, choo-choo.
Oh, my God. You know what? People will be mad at me if I get into these topics again, but Dennis Miller on Carolla? Oh, I have to listen to that. You won't, though, right? There's no reason for you.
No, I don't.
But thank you for that tip. I will.
Yes. The Plymouth Gem wants to know, Andy, is there any chance that the term "stooped abroad" is not uttered on a subpoenaed Michael Cohn burner phone?
I wish I could get a hold of his. It's going to be really, all those things he says. I'm going to make your life disgusting. It's going to be really disgusting. He says these things they sound just weird to me.
Right.
It's going to be awful what I do to you. Hideous.
Right. It's just unfiltered bluster.
Yeah. It'll be awfully sick what I do to you.
It's Mad Lib.
Yeah. I'm going to take out your guts and do something to the insides of you.
You won't be able to function normally again when I'm done with you.
Anything else?
West Anthony wants to know, Jay, tell us why being a homeowner is not all it's cracked up to be. It's because it's a fucking constant to-do list that never goes away and haunts you in every room you walk into.
Right.
That's just me.
Well, but the thing is, when you're renting, though, I just recently have bought, 4 years I've owned something. But the thing is, when you're renting, you also walk into rooms wanting things done.
Right.
You just don't feel like you can do it, or it doesn't make sense to do it, or you don't get that
it's
involved.
not your problem.
It's not your problem.
That's what's
nice. It's not your problem. But when you think about it, when you're a renter and you do have a problem, they still make it seem like it's your problem. Where did you put down that sink?
Yeah.
Oh, you crazy? That comes off of you. That's the renter policy.
I mostly just don't take any pleasure from, I don't have the pride of home ownership. Again,
I like having an air conditioner.
I like having an air conditioner.
No, but I like that I think about it, my new air conditioner. I can imagine what it looks like.
Yeah.
I've been up on the roof.
Yeah.
So it's like when I'll have company over, which I haven't done yet, I'll say, look, pretty sweet, huh? Nice and cold.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I don't even get that.
But also, Susan has a good eye for designing things. I'm actually getting into the idea of making the place look good after 4 years.
Right.
Well, and less is more.
Yeah.
I really don't like a lot of furniture and things.
Right.
I don't know what's the matter with me, but it seemed good at the beginning.
For me, it's just always it's a thread that you pull at. It's like I want to do a certain thing, but then I'm like, well, I can't do that until I do this,
right?
And I don't have money to do this right now, so I can't do that, and I can't,
That's the same way I feel about sewing.
Because it's pulling at a thread.
Pretty good, huh? Uh-huh. This is like a game. I'm trying to annoy you or something. But you're not being annoying, but I am annoying. I feel the way you felt, but I don't feel like you were the youngest?
I was the youngest. Still am.
See, I felt like obnoxious.
Yeah.
And I felt half of my life was like, stop doing that, you idiot.
And we will finish up with a Peruche. I think for the next Christmas show, Andy Kindler and Josh Weinstein should do a rich little Christmas carol-like recreation of A Wonderful Life, or if you bail for Christmas, maybe 10 Commandments for the next Passover.
I'm into it, but will we do it, though?
No, we probably won't. That would require writing and preparation.
Yeah, I like the idea of it because I'd like to watch that Rich Little thing again.
You once called me a worm, a screwed up man.
So here's what
Merry Christmas, you building alone. That's fantastic.
That's all I was
That is a fantastic building alone.
Merry Christmas, you old fellas alone. So you have a bee farm?
What are you but a warped, frustrated young man? Anything but.
So you're a beekeeper? So you keep bees? That's fantastic.
Somebody wrote, I'm trying to see if I can find it, but somebody wrote something about hearing, and I apologize to whoever it was, but they wrote, they keep singing Barbra Streisand's People Who Need People to themselves in the style of Jose Feliciano singing Cheap. So,
People who need people are the most wonderful people in the world.
That's all I could hope for this podcast.
People. Hee-ho. People who need hee-ho.
well, that's our entertainment portion of the show.
That's the entertainment. If you'd like to write to us, please write to us
At
Thought Spiral _
Oh, fuck. You fucked
no,
it up.
Thought _ Spiral.
No.
Thoughts _
No.
Yeah, I love that idea that you were of the guy who really wants it to fall into place perfectly and is so upset. Probably because he does the editing.
Yeah.
If you want to write to us, what would you do?
I would write us at thoughtspiralshow@gmail.com.
There's no underscore in it?
No. Give us a write at thoughtspiralshow@gmail.com or at thought_spiral on Twitter.
And until then, remember, you're not us. Oh, no, you got more?
I want to plug
plug stuff.
The Zazzle. If you want a shirt or a mug, go to Zazzle.com.
I'm so disappointed.
I want you to buy my movie, I Need You to Kill, on Amazon.
I want you to buy my book. You sound so... This is the most Jewish promotion I've ever... I need you to buy... Oh, no, I Need You to Kill is the name of the movie. You know what I need you to do? Buy that movie, I Need You to Kill. If you want me to do any commercials, I'm available. Also, don't forget that Josh. What else do you have going on?
I don't know. I fucking hate you right now.
I'm good with that as an ending.
I'm blind with hatred.
I love that.